Everyone, I'm Dr. Nisha and Jacob from Career Guidance and Adolescent Counseling Cell, Alapura. Today, I want to take you to a place many of us may not talk about often, but now that place is becoming very important in global politics. Today, we will look into an article titled Somaliland is no longer a diplomatic footnote, written by Sri Samir Bhattacharya. Sri Samir is an associate fellow at the Observer Research Foundation. His work focuses on geopolitics, great power competition, and changing global order. So let's ask a simple question. Why is Somaliland suddenly in the news? And why should the world care about Somaliland now? It's a region in the Horn of Africa. It declared independence from Somalia in the year 1991 after years of conflict. Somaliland has its own government. It holds regular elections and it has a relative peace and stability. But for over 3 decades, it has not been officially recognized by most countries. So for a long time, Somaliland existed silently, almost like a footnote in global diplomacy. The author argues that this is changing now. In December 2025, Israel decided to recognize Somaliland. This is not just a symbolic move. It has huge diplomatic and strategic implications. Why? When one influential country takes such a step, others start to pay attention. Israel's recognition has given Somaliland new international visibility. It challenged the long-standing position of supporting Somalia's territorial unity and opened the door to wider geopolitical realignments. In simple terms, Somaliland has moved from the margins to the center of global strategic thinking. Now let's understand why this region is so important. Somaliland is located near the Bab-el-Mandeb Strait, a narrow sea passage connecting the Red Sea and the Indian Ocean. This route is very important because a large share of global trade, energy shipments, and naval movements pass through this route. Any instability or control over this region affects international shipping, energy security, and global supply chains. That's why major powers are paying close attention. One of the most interesting part of the article focuses on China. China officially supports Somalia's sovereignty and opposing this Somaliland's independence because China is very sensitive about separatism, especially due to Taiwan, Tibet, Xinjiang. Recognizing Somaliland could weaken China's own arguments against Taiwan's independence. However, here is the dilemma. China has invested heavily in the Red Sea region. It wants security, stability, and influence. Somaliland offers relative peace and functional governance. So China faces a tough choice: stick strictly to principles or adapt to changing realities. The author suggests that Somaliland exposes the limits of China's rigid sovereignty-based approach. Another important point is that Somaliland has close ties or close relations with Taiwan. Both are politically isolated, functioning democracies, and seeking international space. This partnership has further complicated China's position and intensified global interest in Somaliland. It also shows how small regions can influence big power politics. The article makes it clear that Somaliland is now part of great power competition involving China, US, Israel, Gulf countries, and Western powers. Recognition of Somaliland is no longer just about Africa. It's about security, trade, influence, and geopolitics. Somaliland has become a strategic chessboard, not a forgotten territory. For Somaliland, this moment is both an opportunity and risk. Opportunity is that more diplomatic engagement, economic partnership, and international legitimacy. And the risk part is that it has become a pawn in global power struggles, external pressure, and instability. The author highlights that Somaliland must now balance recognition with caution. The article reminds us that global politics is not only shaped by big countries. Small regions can change world equations. Geography still matters in the modern world. Power, recognition, and sovereignty are constantly evolving. It also helps us to understand that international relations, diplomacy, and geopolitical strategy, and Africa's growing global role. Somaliland reminds us that events far away will affect global trade, fuel prices, and security. The world is deeply interconnected. As Samir Bhattacharya shows us that Somaliland is no longer a diplomatic footnote. It's a signal of how the global order itself is changing. Thank you for listening. This is Dr. Nisha from Career Guidance and Adolescent Counseling Cell, Alapura. See you in the next video.